Welcome to Reflect with Ed Fassio. Get ready to experience one of the world's first 100% digitally generated podcasts, where we take a step back, dive deep, and strive to learn new things. Join us as we unpack thought-provoking ideas, personal reflections, and inspiring stories to help you stay in the know. Reflect is brought to you by the minds at ByteBrain and powered by emerging technologies from Google, HeyGen, OpenAI, and 11 Labs. Thanks for tuning in. Now, relax and prepare to reflect.
Welcome to Reflect, one of the world's first 100% AI-generated podcasts. So you're curious about cryptocurrency, but maybe feeling a little overwhelmed by all the technical jargon and expensive hardware. I hear ya.
Yeah.
It can definitely feel like a complicated world out there. That's where Pi Network comes in. They claim to be making cryptocurrency accessible to everyone with just a smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
No fancy mining rigs, no confusing technical setups, just your phone.
That's pretty damn revolutionary, right?
Yeah.
Today, we're going to take a deep dive into Pi Network to see if it truly lives up to the hype, or if it's just another flash in the pan.
It's fascinating how this whole thing started. Not in some Silicon Valley tech giant's lab, but in a Stanford University classroom. A group of students, led by Dr. Nicholas Kakalis, Dr. Cheng Yaofan, and Vincent McPhillip, had this vision of making blockchain technology truly democratic. They saw how difficult and resource-intensive it was for the average person to get involved with cryptocurrency. Yeah. I mean, I tried to wrap my head around Bitcoin mining, and it's pretty intimidating. You need all this specialized equipment and technical knowledge, not exactly something you can just do on your lunch break.
Exactly. And these Stanford students, they really wanted to change that. They set out to solve two key problems. First, they wanted to eliminate the high barrier to entry for most people interested in crypto mining. Second, they wanted to create a platform that would make it easier for developers to get their decentralized applications, or dApps, in front of a wider audience.
They wanted to level the playing field and make crypto accessible to everyone, not just the tech elite. I can definitely get behind that. But how exactly does this whole mobile mining thing work? Is it really as easy as opening an app and tapping a button?
You're pretty much spot on. Pi Network doesn't rely on the energy-intensive proof-of-work system that Bitcoin uses. Instead, they use a system called the Stellar Consensus Protocol, or SCP for short. This allows users to mine Pi coins simply by using an app on their smartphones. It's designed to be user-friendly and energy efficient.
Okay, so no more giant mining farms sucking up energy and leaving a huge carbon footprint. That's definitely a plus. But let's get to the heart of the matter. What makes Pi actually valuable? Anyone can create a digital token and call it a cryptocurrency, right? Why should people care about Pi?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What sets Pi Network apart is its focus on real-world utility and community engagement. They're not just building a speculative asset, they're trying to create an ecosystem where Pi can be used for actual goods and services.
So then, it's not just about buying low and selling high, hoping to get rich quick.
Yeah.
There's an actual vision for how Pi can be used in everyday life.
Absolutely. Pi Network has several key advantages that make it stand out from the crowd. First, there's the accessibility we've already discussed. Anyone with a smartphone can participate, regardless of their technical expertise or financial resources. Second, Pi Network is designed to be environmentally friendly. The SCP system is much more energy efficient than traditional mining methods.
That's huge. I think a lot of people are becoming more aware of the environmental impact of cryptocurrency. So Pi's energy efficiency is definitely a big selling point. But what about these real-world use cases you mentioned? Give me some examples. What can people actually do with Pi right now?
Well, for example, there have been instances of Pi being used for peer-to-peer transactions within the community. People are already buying and selling goods and services using Pi. There was even a bakery in South Korea and a resort in the Philippines that started accepting Pi as payment.
No way. So there were already businesses accepting Pi. That's pretty impressive for a cryptocurrency that hasn't even officially launched yet.
It is, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. The Pi Network team envisions a future where Pi can be used for micropayments, tipping content creators, facilitating cross-border transactions, and even making charitable donations. They're building a decentralized marketplace where users can connect and trade directly with each other, cutting out the middleman.
Okay, now we're talking. This is starting to sound like something that could actually disrupt the way we think about money and online commerce. But here's the big question everyone wants to know. When can people actually use Pi outside of the Pi network? When will it be listed on exchanges and tradable on the open market? That's what everyone is waiting for, right?
You're right. That's the big question looming over Pi Network. Currently, they're in a phase called enclosed mainnet. Think of it as a kind of testing ground where they're fine-tuning the technology and ensuring everything is ready for prime time.
Like a beta version of the network.
Exactly. The ultimate goal is to transition to open mainnet, where Pi can be freely traded on cryptocurrency exchanges. But before that happens, they need to ensure the platform is secure, scalable, and has a thriving ecosystem of apps and users.
Got it. So enclosed mainnet is like a dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
And open mainnet is the big opening night.
That's a great way to put it. The Pi Network team is aiming to launch Open Mainnet sometime in 2024. But there's still a lot of work to be done before then. They need to hit certain milestones, like having millions of verified users and a robust network of dApps.
So there's a lot riding on this open mainnet launch. It sounds like it's a make or break time for Pi Network. But let's be real. Is this whole thing actually the future of cryptocurrency? Or is it all just too good to be true? I'm definitely intrigued. But I'm also a little skeptical. What do you think?
Well, it's important to remember that the cryptocurrency world is still relatively new, and there are always risks involved. Pi Network has done a great job of building a large and enthusiastic community, and their focus on real-world utility is definitely a step in the right direction. But they still have a lot to prove.
Right. The success of any cryptocurrency hinges on its adoption and use in the real world. It's not enough to just have a cool idea or a fancy white paper.
Yeah.
People need to actually be able to use it to buy things,
Right.
sell things, and conduct business.
Exactly. And that's what we need to watch closely with Pi Network. Can they successfully transition from this enclosed testing phase to a fully functional open network where Pi can be easily exchanged and used for everyday transactions?
It's a big challenge, for sure. But if they can pull it off, the potential impact could be huge. Imagine a world where anyone with a smartphone can participate in a global digital economy, regardless of their location or financial status.
It's a tantalizing vision, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pi Network is essentially trying to democratize access to financial tools and opportunities that have traditionally been out of reach for many people. If they succeed, it could be a game changer.
It really could. And I think that's what's so exciting about this whole story. It's not just about technology. It's about empowerment. It's about giving people more control over their own finances and connecting them to a global community.
That's a great point. Pi Network has really tapped into that desire for financial inclusion and empowerment. Their community is incredibly passionate and engaged. They believe that Pi can be a force for good in the world.
And that's really inspiring. But let's not forget about the potential downsides and challenges. What are some of the things that could go wrong for Pi Network?
Well, as with any cryptocurrency, there are always risks associated with volatility and market fluctuations. The value of Pi could rise or fall dramatically depending on various factors, including market sentiment, regulatory changes, and competition from other cryptocurrencies.
So there's no guarantee that Pi will be a good investment. It could just as easily crash and burn.
That's always a possibility in the cryptocurrency world. It's a high-risk, high-reward market.
Right. And it's important for people to understand those risks before they jump in. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and always do your own research.
Absolutely. Never blindly follow the hype. It's crucial to understand the technology, the team behind the project, and the potential risks involved.
And speaking of risks, what about the regulatory landscape? Governments around the world are still trying to figure out how to regulate cryptocurrencies. Could Pi Network run into problems with regulators?
It's definitely a possibility. The regulatory landscape for cryptocurrencies is still evolving, and it can vary significantly from country to country. Pi Network will need to navigate these regulations carefully to ensure they're operating within the law.
So there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the future of Pi Network,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a story worth following. What should our listener be watching for in the coming months? What are the key indicators of success or failure?
I think the most important thing to watch is the progress towards Open Mainnet. Can they hit their milestones, deliver on their promises, and create a truly functional and usable cryptocurrency?
Right. The Open Mainnet launch will be the ultimate test for Pi Network. If they can pull it off, it could be a major turning point for the entire cryptocurrency industry.
Absolutely. If Pi Network can prove that a mobile-first, energy-efficient cryptocurrency can be successful, it could pave the way for a new era of financial inclusion and innovation.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the origins of Pi Network, how it works, its potential benefits and risks, and what to watch for in the future. But for our listener who might just be starting their journey into the world of cryptocurrency, what's the key takeaway here? What's the one thing they should remember about Pi Network?
I think the key takeaway is this. Pi Network represents a fascinating experiment in democratizing cryptocurrency and making it accessible to the masses. It has the potential to disrupt the financial industry and empower individuals around the world. But it's important to approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism. Do your own research and understand the risks involved.
Great advice. Don't get caught up in the hype. Be informed, be cautious, and make your own decisions. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all be using Pi to buy our morning coffee.
Only time will tell.
Well, this has been an incredibly informative deep dive into Pi Network. I'm sure our listener is buzzing with new knowledge and excitement. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Pi Network and maybe even starting to mine yourself, we've got some resources for you. You can check out their website at minepay.com or explore the Pi community at explorepi.info. Both are mentioned in the research you sent us. It's a fascinating world out there, and Pi Network is right at the forefront of it. But before you jump headfirst into the world of Pi, let's take a step back and consider some of the ethical considerations surrounding this ambitious project.
That's a crucial point. Whenever you have a new technology that aims to disrupt an established system, especially one as complex as finance, it's important to examine the potential ethical implications.
Right. So what are some of the ethical concerns that people have raised about Pi Network?
One concern is the potential for wealth concentration among early adopters. Since Pi is currently being mined for free, those who joined early and have accumulated a large amount of Pi stand to benefit disproportionately if and when Pi becomes valuable on the open market. This could exacerbate existing wealth inequalities.
That's a valid concern. It's similar to the criticism that Bitcoin has faced,
Yeah.
where early miners who had access to cheap computing power were able to amass huge amounts of Bitcoin, giving them a significant advantage over later adopters.
Exactly. Another ethical consideration is the potential for data privacy issues. Pi Network collects user data, including phone numbers and contact lists, which raises concerns about how this data is being used and protected.
That's a sensitive topic these days, especially with all the data breaches and privacy scandals we've seen in recent years. People are becoming more aware of how their data is being collected and used, and they want assurances that their privacy is being respected.
Absolutely. And it's important for Pi Network to be transparent about its data collection practices and ensure that user data is properly secured.
Transparency and trust are essential for any company operating in the financial space.
So it sounds like Pi Network needs to address these ethical concerns head-on if they want to gain mainstream acceptance.
They do. And to their credit, they have acknowledged these concerns and are working to address them. For example, they've implemented KYC, Know Your Customer procedures, to prevent fake accounts and money laundering. And they've published a detailed privacy policy outlining how they collect and use user data.
That's a good start. But it's an ongoing process. They need to continually engage with the community, listen to feedback, and demonstrate their commitment to ethical practices.
I agree. Building trust is crucial, especially in a decentralized system like Pi Network, where there's no central authority to regulate or control the network.
It's a delicate balance. They need to foster innovation and growth while also ensuring that the network is fair, transparent, and accountable.
Right. And it's not just up to Pi Network. Users also have a responsibility to be informed, do their own research, and make responsible decisions. Well said. It's a shared responsibility. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of cryptocurrency and ensuring that it benefits everyone, not just a select few.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything there is to know about Pi Network. We've explored its origins, its technology, its potential benefits and risks, and even delved into some of the ethical considerations surrounding this ambitious project. It's been a fascinating journey, and I hope our listeners found it informative and thought-provoking.
Me too. It's an exciting time to be following the development of cryptocurrency, and Pi Network is definitely one to watch.
Absolutely. So, to our listener, keep your eyes peeled, stay informed, and as always, do your own research. The future of finance is being written right now, and you have the opportunity to be a part of it. This has been The Deep Dive, and we'll catch you next time.
In the cyber ocean of online voices and recycled content, something different has arrived. Reflect isn't just another podcast, it's the future of storytelling, powered entirely by AI. From curating data to assembling thought-provoking ideas, we've redefined how journeys are told. Reflect is a podcast that thinks, learns, and evolves with each episode. Every tale, every insight, crafted by the most advanced AI technologies. A podcast that disrupts the industry, breaking free from traditional formats, taking you on an entirely new experience. So tune in now and reflect. We're telling the future.